All right, May 15th here. We're off and running. Somebody's got a radio going. All right, I'm going to mute everybody. Okay. All right, here we go, guys. It is Thursday, May 15th, and we'll open up. Anybody got questions or want to start off? All right.
.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Gregory, you got your radio on.
That's Woody.
Is it Woody? All right, I want to mute Woody. I thought I muted everybody. All right, there we go. All right. No, that's Gregory. Gregory, you keep unmuting and you got some kind of music going there.
Director Barbara Ferrer says there's been a slight increase in infections. She said
maybe he wants us to hear the news. I don't know. All right. So who wants to go first? Hello, Lisa. Go ahead.
So guess what? It's a Kartra question.
All right. Cool. I've got some stuff to share about Kartra too. So
okay, good. So my affiliate program. I've changed the settings and this is just wrapping my head around it, or maybe you can show me. So I changed the link to be global. So anybody who signs up to become an affiliate.
Yep.
Okay. My question is, how does that link, how does their affiliate link to where we're sending the potential new client?
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, thank you.
So it's really cool. It's really interesting the way they do that. Inside your products, when you create a product that's going to have an affiliate link to it, when you're creating the product, when you get to a certain place in there, it says, what's the page? What's the sales page? So by default, there it's going to create an affiliate link for that sales page. Now, that's just one way. That's just one off. When you get to the affiliate page, when you're creating your product, again, this is all in product edit. When you're on the affiliate page and the product edit, it will allow you to add URLs. You can add as many different URLs in there as you want, and every one you add, it will create a new unique affiliate link for that page. So let's say you're running a webinar sign up and you want an affiliate link for it, and you're running straight to the sales page and you want an affiliate link for it. Or maybe you've got a special page that's for a discount offer that you only want to give to certain people. And so you can create these different links, and when you create the link, you can tell it right there if this is a global for everyone or if this is only available to a particular affiliate.
Right, I've seen that. So can I, the example is a friend, or not a friend, a guy who's in my membership, the gold standard, said, I have somebody that might be interested in the gold standard. Do you have an affiliate link? So I gave him how to sign up to become an affiliate, right?
Okay.
Do I have to have a page where I provide all those separate links for him?
You can do that, but
where does he see it?
He already has it. Like if he logs in as an affiliate, he will have the page in there that shows all the products. Can
I ask you to be an affiliate and just show me what they see, because I'm confused about it.
Okay.
Like maybe this will, because I would like to put myself in my customer's shoes, because they asked me and I need the answer.
Sure. Sure. Let me find mine. let me get to my, okay, so I'm gonna share my screen and I'll just show you me as an affiliate, what I see. This is what they would see. Okay, so it's slightly different because I have a full-blown, you know, Kartra account like you do. But when they log in, they'll have this tab will be the My Affiliate Promos tab. And all of the products that they have affiliates for are right here. So like, for instance, I'm going to go to the Kartra. I'll just go to Kartra Gold. So in Kartra Gold here, it shows like, you know, your stats. And then over here, see where it says my link? So
Yep.
this is my affiliate link for Kartra Gold. So I'm going to click on that. And then here, there's my affiliate links, and here's my broker links.
Understood.
So you click on the affiliate, and there's really only one here. So there's only
Okay.
one link there.
So I need to be able to show them how to do that because. So by the way, the person I'm speaking of is Roger Anthony. You know Roger, right? Roger Dumadag.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So Roger and I have known each other for 15 years, but so he's the one that asked, which is why he knows Kartra and all this stuff. But it's not automatic that
So
people would go and log in and go to my affiliate promos. And
correct.
get that.
Yeah.
So
No,
how do I teach people how to do this?
I totally get that. So you might make a little tutorial video for them. The other thing that you can do, if you want to make it super simple,
Yes, please.
you can send an email to all of your affiliates and include the affiliate links right in there for them, which that is really cool. But before I show you that,
But
before
isn't there unique? Isn't their link unique?
yes, I'll show you how to do it.
Okay.
But before I do, here's the Kartra basic, and look at all the different links in here.
Yes, I've seen that on my end because even stuff that I have no idea why Site Pop is in my thing through you. Not a clue. I never signed up for it, but I apparently am an affiliate for Site Pop. I don't know.
Well,
why.
what you probably did was you probably signed up for just my regular affiliate program, and it's global, so it would include all that stuff.
Yeah, but that's the only thing that's in there of yours,
Okay.
the same.
It's
But that's okay.
so here, you know, here's the link for the 14-day free trial. Here's a link straight to checkout. Here's one that talks about how to create leads. Here's one how to create pages. So they've got all these different links for all these different things that you could. These are all big ideas, by the way. This is why people that do affiliate programs that come up with multiple big ideas to give to their affiliates, you make a lot more money doing this.
Yes, understood.
So create that. Okay, so you got that part now?
Yes.
Okay, so now let me show you how to make this super simple for your peoples. So if you went into communications, and let's say you did a broadcast, and then we'll create a new broadcast. I'm just going to call it affiliates. I didn't spell it right, but that's okay. Don't judge me on grammar today.
It's okay.
Okay, so we're going to send by email.
Yep.
And we got to save that. Okay, and then we go next. Now under recipients, you can say everybody that's on a list, everybody that has a tag. I think there is one for affiliates in here. Okay, there you go. Is an active affiliate. And then you can say any product, Or
Okay,
you could pick, I would actually pick a specific product.
got it.
So I would say, let's say the ACT program. So anyone that's an affiliate of ACT, I've got 31 to send.
Okay,
So I'm going to say, okay, and next. And now in the single email, this is where you can do that. So here, I would do hi, and then I would copy and put their first name in there.
right.
So I'll do that. I apologize, I'm not on my mouse today. I'm on the little funky pad, so I might look a little challenged. But okay, so now what I'm going to do, look at that one right there,
Okay,
affiliate link. And now I'm going to pick which product, ACT program, and now I can pick which page. So let's say I want to send them the $99 special.
okay,
Now when I hit save, now when I copy that link, back to that mouse thing. Okay, so I copy that. Not liking the pad mouse. Okay, so now, oh, I copied the broker link.
yeah, it's okay.
Told you I was going to look challenged at this. Okay, so affiliate link. So what it's going to do, it is going to fill in whatever link I put in here. So see that? That's the
Yes.
$99 special. So it's going to now send to all those affiliates, and it's going to put their specific link in this email for them.
I guess, yes, and I guess my question is upon sign up. So I had Roger, I sent him the little video. My Kartra lady made a video teaching people how to sign up as an affiliate,
Okay.
but I guess it falls short of where to get their link. You know, because they get a username and a password to Kartra, right?
Okay.
And so
So
either-
here's what you do. You create an automation that says when somebody signs up as an affiliate, send this email.
ooh, I like it. Okay,
And that way, when they sign up, they will get their login, and it will trigger that email to be sent that you make, just like what I did right here.
okay,
And you can put, like, different links in there. You can put all the different links you want in there.
gotcha. Okay.
So that's the way to do it. And I should do this stuff myself.
I know. When I coach people, I'm like, please do as I say, not as I do, or don't do. So,
Exactly.
okay, well, that's somewhat helpful. I still, I'll have my Kartra girl do it. The second and last question I have regarding Kartra is, when people choose to unsubscribe, I'm getting people that are unsubscribing from a certain list, but are not unsubscribing completely. So my problem is I don't send emails based on what they've done in the past. You know what I mean? I'm sending it to basically everybody in my thing.
Okay.
And the way I do it, the only emails I don't, when I'm sending it to my entire list, that I don't send it to are my industry guests, right? So
Mhm.
it's people who send this to people, everyone who, except the people who have this tag, right? So that's basically everybody in there. The problem is if they've unsubscribed from a certain list, they're still going to get this broadcast. So I'm having
Right.
trouble.
Yeah, that I don't know about. I was under the impression that if they unsubscribe, they're unsubscribed to everything.
No, when you go in
Okay.
and you manage your email, your preferences as a client,
Uh-huh.
you can unsubscribe yourself from certain lists, or
Okay.
you can unsubscribe completely. When you
Gotcha.
unsubscribe completely, you get that little white mark in the red
Yeah.
mark, like stop, you can't email me anymore. And
Yeah.
that's when they show up in the blocked list.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But otherwise, you just have the red, which means they're no longer subscribed to any lists.
Uh-huh.
You can still email them. So my wrapping my brain around that is, it's way too much trouble to have people on multiple lists based on what they liked.
Well,
So should I
whatever.
just get rid of all the lists? Because then if they don't want emails from me, then they just unsubscribe.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah, that's what I've told everybody from the beginning is don't make a bunch of lists. Make a bunch of tags.
however, the Kartra people have said that in order for better email delivery, period, they need to be subscribed to a list.
Oh
Because-
yeah, everybody has to be subscribed to a list, but you should have a minimal amount of lists.
Right. Well, that list is broadcasts.
Okay, so that's
So I
one
guess,
list, right?
so I guess what I'm saying is that,
What are you saying?
well, so what I'm saying is they go in and they unsubscribe themselves from broadcasts, what good are they? I can't, if they're in my database, but I can't email them,
Well, if
what
they're
good are
in
they
your
doing in my
database,
database?
then if they unsubscribe, they don't want to hear from you. So don't email them. Why would you want to email them if they don't want to hear from you?
But it's not that they don't want to hear from me. Otherwise, they would have unsubscribed completely. Do you understand? You can
Sounds like they
unsubscribe,
did.
like there's choices. When you unsubscribe, I never want to hear from that person again, ever. Take me out. And then there's unsubscribing from certain lists. So if they unsubscribe from the one major list I have in there called broadcasts, but they didn't unsubscribe from everything, my reasoning is I don't understand.
Yeah.
You want to hear from me, but no, I don't. So I guess my question is, should I just delete them, period? Even though they only unsubscribed from the list and didn't unsubscribe totally?
I don't delete them out of the database, no, because it keeps your history. So I think you're worried about something that's of no consequence.
Well, the thing is because I don't weed out. I don't know what to do with these people. They're sitting there, but I can't, but they've said they don't want broadcasts.
So don't do anything with them. Why are you worried
Well,
about
why
it?
leave them in my database then at all?
Then take them out.
Okay. I'm trying to wrap my head around how to segment.
Lisa, you got to do what makes you happy. I mean, I'll tell you what I would do, and then you do whatever makes you happy.
So you leave them in there just to leave them in there.
Yeah, I'm lazy. Why would I go and do that?
Okay. And then my question is when you send an email, how do you not send them an email?
If they're unsubscribed, they won't get it.
We're talking apples and oranges. They're not unsubscribed from my list. That's the distinction.
You just told me that they unsubscribed.
No. Okay, I'm gonna say it
this
one more
isn't
time.
going
Like,
anywhere.
no,
We need to move on.
No. I just really need to make
No,
sure.
we need to move on, Lisa. That was a completely circular thing. Here's the deal. I'll tell you how it works, and then you can take it or leave it. If they unsubscribe, you won't be able to send email to them. They'll still be in your database. If you want them out, you can go in and take them out if you want.
I understand that. That's not what I'm saying though. They only unsubscribed from a list, not my entire thing. So I can still email them. They're not the one that takes them out of being able to email. They are still emailable. They just unsubscribe from, never mind, I'll ask somebody else.
Yeah, I don't know what the question really is.
It's okay. I just,
I'm not getting it.
Does anybody else here understand what I'm trying to ask?
Yeah, I just popped on. So John's trying to answer you from a protective plane. If they unsubscribe to one email, Lisa, you might want to call them and directly contact them. In other words, if you contact them through another email and they've already unsubscribed, they could, then it could damage you. And, if you, I know, John, isn't Kartra very strict on all of that?
Yeah,
So
if you
you
get
could
complaints, they don't like that too much.
Yeah, so you might want to, if it's a person Lisa, you might want to call them. And also you could maybe develop options that say, would you like an email once a month, once a week? Because sometimes people are just, like when I get emails every day, I like unsubscribe because it's like too much already, So I want an email once a month. Like I love John. He's simple, brief, and clear, and only emails me when it's absolutely necessary. He's got something important to tell me, or I need to get on a meeting. So it's not always like an offer or come to the same thing with Tim. He just lets me know when his next meeting is. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? So John's just trying to answer to protect you. So if you know the person that I'm subscribed, send them a personal, maybe call them or literally write them personally. I don't know, but
So I got it, and I'm not communicating clearly because you guys are you're giving me an answer to the question I don't have. So
Oh.
I will save it for Kartra.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Who's up next?
wow, we got a full house today, Johnny B.
Yeah, we're cooking.
Yeah, cooking with gas. Woo.
Tatiana, unmute there.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. So I'm gonna have some kindergarten question because
That's okay.
I'm just starting with all the course. So I'm on avatar part, and so I'm trying to decide who would be my audience because it's kind of between. It's, let's say, it's a mother who wants to be entrepreneur. It's the
Okay.
woman married, but she is getting divorced. So it's like because if I'm looking, okay, it's not really mother, it's not really entrepreneur.
Okay.
So who is the avatar for me? That's
Well,
one question.
Okay, so you may have multiple avatars.
Okay.
It's quite possible that you'll have multiple avatars, and that's perfectly fine. You also, like when you're going through the lesson and you're building the avatar, I've got an avatar sheet that asks all those questions like, are they married or they divorced?
Yes, I did that.
Sometimes that stuff doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you have to complete all of that stuff. It's there kind of for you to brainstorm to figure out, does this matter? And if it does, then I'm going to count it.
Okay.
Like if they want to be an entrepreneur, that's a big thing that actually matters.
Yes.
If they're in a day job, that's a thing that actually matters. They might, it might not matter that they're a mother. It might just be a woman.
Mhm.
That might not matter. If it does, then it gets it down to a little more specific thing of how you talk to them. Like if it's a mother, then that mother is going to have needs that, say, a woman that's not a mother doesn't have. Like a mother, as soon as you enter into motherhood, things change. And this is just from an observation point. I've never experienced this personally, but things change radically. All of a sudden, your spouse is no longer number one. That child is number one now.
Yes.
And there's just a lot of things that radically change in a mother's life when she enters into that. So the way you speak to her, what's now important to her is different. The protecting of that child, now there's a whole new reason for her to be an entrepreneur. She needs time to spend with that child. She doesn't want to have that child in daycare while that kid's growing up and her missing out on all those little things that happen along the way. That is like really important to her. And If it is a mother, that's, you know, your conversation has to go that way to be highly effective. So that's where it will make a big difference or not, if this is a mother or not. But some of those things, like, you know, if they're divorced or not, it probably doesn't matter. You know, certain things, education sometimes doesn't matter. Ethnicity sometimes doesn't matter, but sometimes it does. It just kind of depends on your particular situation of who you're building your funnel for. Because remember I don't know if you've got there yet, but there's an exercise in there called the timeline. And in the timeline, you look at where the person is right now, and then where they want to go, and the obstacles that are in the way, and why they want to get there. You know, the why they want to get there could be the most important part. You know, like back to that mother, if she wants to do this because she knows if she stays in her day job, that kid's going to grow up without her. That might just be killing her inside. So that would create this huge desire to get to this entrepreneurship where she can have freedom. She can have that time to spend with her kid as the kid grows up. So see how it all kind of blends together, but sometimes a lot of people get caught up in the avatar sheet and they think they have to answer everything, and you don't. It's only there for, if it's important, take it and use it. If it's not, just pass right over it.
Yes, that makes sense.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yes.
And then as far as, do you need help like still figuring out who your avatar is?
You know, it's me. So
Okay. Yeah, a lot of times it is. A lot of times.
it's me. So I know. I didn't know if you need to put the word. Yes, I'm mother, but I want to be entrepreneur. Yes, I know I need to change the boat because it was going wrong direction. So going there, but I didn't know who, like, am I mother or am I entrepreneur? You know, I am mother, but now my priority is right now, my kids are getting older, so I want to be entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
why, you know, I didn't know who exactly the avatar is. But my second, but that makes sense. So I'm going to focus on that. So my second question, because as I told you, it's apparel with the motivational quotes. So I'm not really exactly the same like any other apparel, but also I'm not motivational speaker or motivational quotes. It's kind of between. And I have a hard time to find the audience I can find audience who loves the quotes and who loves the message, and, you know, Instagram is growing, but they are not buying, they are not buyers.
Okay.
So how do I find that middle and who
Okay.
I'm actually reaching? I don't know who I'm reaching. It's not the fashion, it's not the motivational quote.
Gotcha. So here's another thing that I think is going to be really important for you in your beginning stages here, is if you look at the lesson on deciding on a profitable segment of an audience.
Mhm.
There's three things that you have to look at to decide if you have something profitable to even go into to build a business around. One of them, the first thing, is the audience has to be big enough. The second thing is the audience has to want what you're offering. And the third thing is they have to be willing and able to pay for it. So if they're not willing and able to pay for it, then that's not something that you should be thinking about building a business around. If you're talking about, you know, like motivational quotes are a dime a dozen for free on Facebook and social media. So if you're trying to sell people on that, that might be a hard sell. That might not be something that you can like build a profitable business around. Now, where I've seen some people do that is where they offer it to other business owners as social media content. They say, hey, I'll provide these things for you. I'll even plug them in for you. And now you'll have social media posts going out with some cool quotes, and people think you're brilliant. It's hard though, because I know a lot of people that have spent money on that particular service and it has made them $0. So when you're talking about an entrepreneur, when they start putting money out for services and they don't see money coming back, that's a very short runway that you have before the plane hits the end of the runway and crashes and burns and never gets off the ground. So you've got to, if you're going to offer something to somebody, you've got to make sure that it's something that they want, they're willing to pay for it, and they have the ability to pay for it. So that's a really, really important step. Like when I teach, the very first thing I teach in the ACT program is the freedom formula of figuring out what you have to sell, how much profit is in each item, and then how many items you're going to have to move to make that freedom number. And then you take it the next step and you figure out, okay, well, now I need to target my audience. I need to find the profitable segment to be able to do this with. And you look at, is it big enough? Is that segment, is there enough people that fit that category that I can be profitable? And do they want it enough to want to pay for it? And do they have the money to pay for it? So it's really important. I've seen so many people that will chase a dream that will wind up being a dead end, where if they looked at it through those glasses, they would clearly see before they started. And then they could move past that and move right into something profitable right out of the gate. You know, a lot of times you'll talk to people and they'll be an entrepreneur and they'll be making it, but it took them 20 years. They did 20 years of failure to finally figure it out. And when you look back and you look at that timeline, all along the front end of it, you'll see they were failing because they didn't have a profitable segment, or they didn't figure out who they were talking to and how to do the messaging, or they just didn't bring the message to the audience. You're always going to find the problems in one of the three buckets. You know, it's either the market or the message or the traffic. Always in one of those three buckets. So it's really important. The first one is the market. That's where the analysis comes in. That's why it's so important to spend so much time in that beginning stage of planning to make sure that when you start building a business around your idea, that it's going to have legs. It's going to be able to walk. Otherwise, you'll do yourself a huge favor by not spending money investing in something that's not going to walk, because it'll never run. If it can't walk, it can't run, and then it can't fly. So that's just be, you know, spend the time and analysis and figure out, you know, put a really good solid plan together, and then you'll have a much better chance of it working.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Like take for example, look at these women. What do they really need? You know, what would they spend every penny to get? And make sure you can deliver the result too. You know, don't sell people on stuff. I hate the people that sell things and they're successful, right? They're successful and they're selling something that has nothing to do with their success. I see this all the time and it just makes me sick. And a lot of them are these internet marketing gurus. You know, they have big followings and they're very successful because they're good at getting people to buy stuff. But they're selling you something and they're showing you success, and the two have nothing to do with one another. That has really always bothered me since the very beginning of internet marketing. Oh, excuse me. So anyway, you know, it comes down to just do good stuff and good things will happen.
Well, that's what I'm praying. It is good stuff. It's just, you know, I see t-shirts and apparel on Etsy. They are all selling.
Uh-huh.
It's not even quality or the designs like mine are, but I'm not selling on Etsy. I don't want to sell on Etsy because important is the message too, with my stories and so Etsy is, I feel Etsy is kind of bully. They tell you how much you have to sell it for, what's the shipping, and I didn't like that, so I left. But the problem is now I don't have audience. I have to
Yeah.
search for the audience.
Yeah, see, that's another problem. You could have a great product and you could have, you know, a lot of people that would want it, but then you don't have the traffic to get them on it.
Yes.
So,
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
yeah, absolutely. All right.
Hey, John.
Woody, yeah, go ahead.
Good morning, Captain. I see you're on your yacht.
I am.
I love it, baby. I love it. I have a couple of questions. I know Sylvie's on the line. Hello, folks. I hope you're all doing great today. I think we sent you just so people know, John's doing a website for us. And to the last lady, on and off, it's been in progress for a year. The idea of a website. So that's not John, that's me not really having the C part of the ACT program down. So word of caution, don't build shit until you're ready. All right, in regard to black manure, we just sent you a whole package with all the stuff. I guess it's gonna go off to the web makers.
Yeah, my designers, yeah.
Did, right, John?
To
Yep.
the design, hey, Sylvie. So one of my questions is, did you proofread it to see that my big idea is glowing enough? And how many times does it usually go back and forth between the designers to get it really honed in? One other question, once it's done, can we work on it ourselves?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's editable.
Yeah, absolutely. It's totally editable. So the thing with what we're doing, what you guys had sent me, I was in the impression that it was a website that somebody had done for you and that we were going to be able to just transfer it, put it over, edit it, whatever. But what it is, it's like some kind of an editable document, like a PDF.
Well,
or
I sent you
something.
also the login, John. I sent you the login for the website that has some of the content from the deck that I sent you that has all of the content in it. And then I said I could
Okay.
retype whatever wasn't already typed. So I mean, everything's there really nicely mapped out in the deck. And then I
Okay.
give you the login also that has some of that content in it. But I mean, everything's there.
Okay.
All the links are there. Everything's there. The only thing that's not there is I could potentially retype a little bit of the content, but almost all the content is typed in the notes. I give you like
Okay.
everything, like I tooth and nail, except for maybe a tiny bit of the content, which I'm happy to retype today.
Okay, cool.
So,
Yeah, so I had sent it over to the developers, and my I've got a project manager that like manages the whole team and all that. And he got back to me and he said it's so different from what they had developed the first time.
Yeah, it is.
They're pretty much going to be starting over. So,
All right.
so it's probably going to take about a week to get it done.
No,
but John, can we have like the back frame just done so it looks nice for Monday, and then we can just fill it out the rest of the week?
Yeah.
Just have like a few pages that like maybe with the guides on them,
Sure.
and then we can just finish the website out. So
Sure.
that way we have kind of like a landing page, something that people can go to and see, and then by the middle to end of next week, everything's there. I think that
Yeah.
that's the best way to do it. Just kind of have a basic frame,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, we
then
should be able to do
fill
that.
it out by the end of the week, middle to end of the week.
Yeah, that should be no problem because that's what they do first. Like, since the design part is already pretty much set, what they'll do is they'll put the home page together with all the basic navigation, and then that's exactly what they'll do. So the homepage will be up and done first, and then they start filling in the back pages.
I think he just wants to make sure that the Kartra links are there though, from day one.
Okay.
So I don't know, did you get those from Tammy yet? I think she had to redevelop them again.
I haven't got the stuff from Tammy yet, unless it just came in the last hour.
So maybe even just like 4 pages, home, like about Woody, sellers, and contact, and then the rest of it, because I can fill out, and that way you don't have to do like 10 page. It's like a 10-page site or something.
Yeah,
Make a lot
and,
really light and load. I can send you an email about that.
and we've already got his
Order.
MLS stuff in there and all that, so it should go smooth.
Would you like me to send you an email about like what I think a good plan of attack is, just so that, you know, kind of simplify stuff for you guys?
Sure. Yeah, the simpler the better.
I can do that right after this call.
Yeah. And as far
Yeah,
as
did you see the big idea?
Yeah, that was this other question.
yeah,
Feel
no,
like
I have not looked at that. Usually on a web project, all the content just gets passed across. And because on websites, we basically build on supplied content, unless our copywriters are writing the content for you. And that's the only time where we would go into like proofreading stuff. So what happens is it goes in as it's given to us, and then we hand you back like the editable version, and then you can go in and tweak and fix and do all that stuff.
Does the big ideas stand out? I mean, it's the first page.
Okay, I didn't look at it as far as from a big idea perspective. You want to read it out and we'll see?
You guys want me to screen share?
Yeah, shit.
I
Put
can
it up.
screen share. Give me a second.
Put it up. Let's see what you got, Woody.
No, thank you for your patience, everyone. This is our deal of a lifetime right now. Thank you.
Okay, so am I enabled to do screen sharing, Ron?
Yeah, you should be able to.
One sec.
So for everybody, what we're going to go through here is the big idea process. So big ideas have 3 elements. They have a promise. There's always a promise of the desired outcome. There's always a unique mechanism, or at least a hint that there is a unique mechanism of what's going to deliver the results. And then you say it in a compelling way that no one's heard it before. So we will take a look and we'll see if you've got the 3 elements, Woody. All right, I recognize that guy.
A little bit more stretched out than it's going to be on the final website, obviously, but.
Okay, so, and this copy is what your big idea is referred to, right? Are you ready for the deal of a lifetime? Get your free seller's report and more. Include clickable. Okay, that's
just a note to your developer.
Okay, gotcha. So this really is not a big idea. What this is this is a question, and it's almost like a call to action. This is more of a call to action statement. This would happen after the big idea. So one of the things, like for any of you guys that follow Frank Kern, some people love him, some people not so much, but he has done some brilliant stuff. He is a great marketer, and this wasn't his quote, but he uses it all the time, and it's great. He says, whenever you're presenting something to someone, you have to say 3 things. The first thing is, here's what I've got. The second thing is, here's what it's going to do for you. And the third thing is, here's what I want you to do next. So what you've got here is you've got one of those things. You've got the here's what I've got and here's what to do next. But you don't have the here's what it's going to do for you. With a big idea, that's your promise. That's what you're missing. What are you going to get out of the thing? That's what's going to make them want it to begin with. Because nobody is going to click unless it's going to do something for them. They don't just click because you said, hey, this thing's great, click it and get it. We're not that good. So unless you're, unless you're some kind of a superstar and you've got a massive following of people that are just hypnotized by your image, that's not going to work.
So we need to add some verbiage about like your real estate expert or, resource to finding the house of your dreams, or just something additional, right? That
Yes.
tells them what's in it for them.
Yeah, correct. Like on a big idea, they generally start with a promise. Like, are you ready for the deal of a lifetime? That's kind of vague, kind of generic.
Yeah. Something.
Like, think about it like what's going through someone's mind when they're trying to go to sleep at night. They're not thinking, oh God, if I could only find the deal of a lifetime, I'd be in good shape.
They're dreaming about their house of a lifetime.
Exactly. They're thinking about
or selling their house.
They're thinking about how can they afford it.
Yeah.
They're thinking about how do I get that big house that I really want, on a beer budget. Something of that nature. That's why if you get into the head of your prospect, you can get a lot clearer idea of what that languaging sounds like. What's important to them. Woody, he services a very niche community. They've got, different desires, different needs, different wants. So figuring that stuff out, what's important to them, is that in some cases, real estate is important because of location. If you've got people that have school-age kids, good schools are going to be important. If you've got.
John, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You brought this up. I'm looking at this, and he's got sellers and buyers. So who is he talking to? I know that you bring this up as an example sometimes, right?
Well, this particular thing, it's got a mixed signal. It's good that you brought that up because the deal of a lifetime, that's for a buyer. Get your free seller. You see that?
That's why I don't understand the deal of if I'm selling the house, I want the most money that I can get. And if I'm buying a house, I don't want Woody because he's going to get the most money for the seller.
Yeah. See, there's see how the message is mixed there?
Mm-hmm.
Deal of a lifetime is a promise to a buyer. The free seller's report, that sounds like it's for the seller. Like a buyer's guide would be more in line with what you would want to offer, with the deal of a lifetime being your promise.
Right.
What do
can I
you
jump in
hear?
here? So like originally, Woody, I can't see you because I see, first of all, I think it looks great. It's a great shot of you, Woody. So that's wonderful. Great work. Originally, if you remember, John, we talked about you having the buyer, the seller, and the investor, and they click and then they get launched into that whole direction. So that's what John's original input to us was, and still is, and everybody's giving you feedback to hone in on who you're talking to. So just to create those buttons again, even keeping this great picture of you, it's fantastic. So it's possible. I know that Sylvie is a whiz with the technology to just, even over your head, maybe the buyer, sell. Are you a buyer, a seller, or an investor? And I just an idea, and it really has roots in what John originally said, last March.
Yeah. So what's happened here, Woody, is you've gone kind of backwards here. What Ali was saying, the site looks great. The graphics are great. The colors are great. It looks beautiful. But as far as for the messaging, we've taken a big step backwards in the messaging.
I do think the rest of the pages are better. I definitely don't. Yeah, I definitely see what you guys are all saying. I think the other pages are actually a lot better. I think that this content-wise is definitely the weakest of any of the other pages.
Okay, and this is the homepage, right?
And that should be the strongest, not the weakest.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's the weakest, actually.
exactly. So
It really is the weakest. other than that picture.
typically, if you're going to have a landing page, like a home page for a website, and you're going to have multiple avatars, we try and split the avatars right up front. So we're not trying to pitch any one. We're just saying, hey, if you're a buyer, click here. If you're a seller, click here. If you're an investor, click here. And then they go to the landing page specifically built for them with their languaging.
So with that being said, because all the buttons are at the top, what would you advise to have on this page, John?
It would basically be just a reiteration of those same buttons, but graphically built onto the home page.
Just
Like
like
here,
3 buttons.
yeah, like maybe have Woody there, maybe raise him up a little bit, crop some of the top to where he's kind of the focal point at the top.
Mhm.
And then like right below him, he's like giving you these 3 options
Would you put anything else, John?
graphically. I wouldn't try and get too deep into the messaging there until you have them segregated, and then you can talk to them. Because, you know, like what Joe said, Joe's been following me for a long time and he gets it. You know, he's now up on a level that's you know, very high in the ACT program, and he noticed that right away.
Okay, so questions for you guys. So sellers, buyers, investors, is that the right order, or is it buyers, sellers, investors? And then how does everyone else feel about the 3 buttons? Because if everyone's aligned with that, including Woody, I'm just gonna go ahead and make that it right now.
Can I make a
This is
suggestion?
Linda, and from my perspective, I would never start with a buyer.
Okay, so sellers, buyers, investors is what you
Buyers,
advise?
investors, no, sellers, investors. You want a listing, but you don't want to deal with people that can't figure out what the hell they want.
Okay, you do sellers, investors.
So I would take these 3 sellers, buyers, and investors off the menu and just make them into a picture. Because and I think that's what John is saying. If there was like, I'm a
No,
seller.
he was saying to have it still on the top like a menu and then have the buttons graphically.
Yeah, it's
Well,
okay to it's okay to
It's good to
still
have
have
it
it
so
in a
you can
common
navigate.
header. That's fine.
Sellers, selling, sellers, investors, buyers.
Woody, don't you want to sell people's houses, Wood? Unmute yourself, blah, blah, blah.
I know he's still muted.
He knows how to unmute, yeah.
I forgot how, Alice, you're not here anymore.
Well, baby, listen, we're on rerun right now.
Oh,
So,
all right, anyway,
Sorry.
should I just say, you know, on the bottom,
no,
fuck
but
it.
Woody, don't you want to sell people's houses? Wood?
Yes,
So then, Sylvie, we've gone around and around with this. Just make it, I want to sell your house. Like, do you want to sell your house? Bing, this is what John and we went over and over this with you. Make it simple for people, Woody. Sylvie, help him for the love of God.
Sell your house in 30 days guaranteed. Now there's your promise, Woody.
That's Linda Kay talking.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
Tell them what you want to do. You don't want a bunch of damn buyers. You want sellers. You want listings. You'll
right,
have as many buyers as you want when you have a listing.
right. So should the bottom just say, let me sell your house? Yeah,
Well, like what-
No, give them a promise. Sell your house in 30 days guaranteed. Give them a promise. That's your big idea.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to have a strong promise for what they really want.
Sell your house in 30 days for top dollar, guaranteed. There's a promise.
Free consultation today or something.
No, yeah.
I could add that.
I wouldn't go free consultation because nobody wants to see you either.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I would say call now and I'll tell you how.
Call now, I'll tell you how.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because see what that is, it's telling them what to do,
Mhm.
but it's telling them what they're going to get. I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to sell your house in 30 days. That grabs their interest. They're like, okay, and then they'll make the call. Because they know why they're calling. They know what they're going to get out of it. So again, the framework, and it doesn't matter how you put the pieces to the puzzle together, but the framework for a big idea is those three components. It's the promise, the unique delivery mechanism.
Show it, Sylvie.
It's not the done version. I'm gonna have the done version today, which is gonna be
You're
better.
all in, Woody, show it.
We should,
30 seconds. Show us, Sylvie. It's 30 seconds. Go.
okay,
for
give me
it.
1 second. I'm gonna stop share and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab it and then I'll show it to you guys.
I love you guys. Thank you. I feel like the dumbest one in the boat.
The dumbest moron would never
Stop,
ask a
stop
question.
it.
That would be the dumbest moron.
Do I have to go to the bilge now, Johnny?
No, we're trying to get you out of the bilge. We're trying to get you up on deck.
We're throwing you a life preserver. Put it on.
Once
Just
we
don't
get you up
tell
on
me
the
to
deck,
go
we can
on.
offer you a towel and dry
Give me
you
1
off.
second, guys. But the final version has different pictures also.
Okay.
So, I mean, like not different. Well, a couple of them are
Play
different,
it,
but
Sylvie. Play it.
I'm trying to find the latest version. Give me 1 second. We have like, I like 25 versions on my computer.
Okay.
That sounds like my mind.
No comment.
Woody.
No comment.
I got your back on
You
that.
guys were gonna get some love, didn't you? You didn't know it was gonna be tough love.
On, I haven't even had any
Sorry.
marijuana today yet. Let's go.
Alrighty.
Maybe that's what you need, Woody.
I'm ready, boys.
I had an artist a long time ago, and we had a going joke that when he delivered the art, we were going to bet if he had not enough lewds, too much lewds, or just the right amount of lewds.
Dear
Oops.
God.
Probably
So before I show it, we're swapping out the first photo, the third photo. We retouched a couple of photos that like don't look great. Like there's one with like cleavage, like it doesn't look. It looks like very like nice there. It was like kind of like wrinkly before, and then we like patched up the second to final photo with with Woody and I. So
just
I'll show you what I got right now, and it's gonna be different music. But here we go. Here's what we got.
I don't want to buy your house, and I do want to help you sell it for top dollar and achieve your goals. I listen and go to work for you. It's the unknown variables in real estate that can hurt you.
Use more volume.
Well, yeah, okay, so stop it for a second, pause, because we can't hear it. When you're sharing your screen, you have to click an extra button at the bottom that says share your sound.
Oh, okay.
So stop sharing, reshare, and then share it with the.
Where is that button? Sorry, I haven't done
So
it.
so when you share your screen, it's right on it's on the bottom left.
Okay, I've only done screen share, never done video share on Zoom.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so where is it?
You have to stop share for a moment,
Okay, so stop share. Okay,
reshare,
okay, and then go to share screen.
share screen, but at the bottom left-hand side, it says share your
thank
sound.
you.
You see?
And then should I do optimize for video clip or no?
Yeah, you could.
Okay, and then I am doing this one and then share. Okay, why is it doing that? What? Okay, that's weird.
Might take it a minute to optimize. There you go. Now we can see it.
Can you guys see the whole screen?
Yep.
Okay, all right, cool.
Hello, I'm Woody Blackman. I don't want to buy your house, and I do want to help you sell it for top dollar and achieve your goals. I listen and go to work for you. It's the unknown variables in real estate that can hurt you. So let's not leave any money on the table. Go to woodyblackman.com for a free copy of my Insider's Guide to give you the edge you need for today's market. Ready to buy or sell? Call 866-RE-WOODY.
There's one word that just drives me crazy about that, Woody.
3 sets.
No,
Woody.
there's one word in the very beginning where
But
you say,
instead of saying,
yes, you gotta
but
get
people
and out
use
of
that
it.
all the time, but we couldn't clean it up.
Here,
Yes, you can. I have recording equipment at my house.
here's the thing. When you start off, you say, I don't want to, you say, I don't want to buy your house,
I
right?
don't want to buy your house.
But you say, but I do want to sell your house for you. You say, and you say, but you say, I don't want to buy your house and shouldn't be and it should be, but I do want to help you sell it.
Mhm.
That's the only thing right from the beginning that's driven me crazy.
You know, I don't know if there's a way to punch in one word.
There is, yeah, Sylvie can do that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would,
Punch it in?
I would punch out one word also at the end. So you're really focused on your target, Woody. You're really going after listings, not after buyers.
Right.
So you want, if you want to sell your house, you want to buy or sell? No buy. No or.
If
You want to sell
want
your
it,
house.
got it. As for what you want,
Write in your message.
Wait,
don't
what do you
want
mean,
damn
Linda?
buyers. Sorry?
Linda, what do you mean? Can you please elaborate? Sorry.
Woody's focus is listing, period. He doesn't want to get a bunch of tire kickers in there and have people calling in and him tossing out leads that may or may never go anywhere. He's looking for listings. That's really your value. Somebody's going to give you 50% of their commission for that, Woody. So don't give him a damn buyer.
thank you, love.
Yeah.
So you would edit the script?
I would edit out buyer or at the end.
Oh,
If you go back to your last 5 seconds, your last 10 seconds, buyer or. If you want to buy or sell your house, no. If you want to sell your house, that's who I want to talk to. Get
Yeah,
the
and
buy
you
or
might
house.
even say if you want to sell your house fast for top dollar.
Yeah,
Could that be
Guaranteed.
lead magnet?
say again.
Well, the lead magnet is your buyer's guide or your seller's guide.
Seller's guide.
Yeah. Lead
And I wouldn't
magnet
say
is,
seller's guide. I would give top 10 ways to get top dollar. Because anybody can give a seller's guide. Yeah, clean your house, reorganize, declutter, blah, blah, blah. Top 10 things that will get you the most money.
secret to selling fast for top dollar.
I'm gonna write that one down. I like that one.
And why not open with that?
Yeah.
Like it.
Because the thing where you engaged me in that script was when you started with the look, it's the variables, and I'm going, okay, now you're giving me something that differentiates you from the other 5 million realtors out there.
That's the unique mechanism.
Mhm.
See,
You
that's
just
where
separated yourself from the pack of losers.
Yeah.
That's
So
where
if
this
you
stuff-
qualify me up front as wanting to sell my house for top dollar fast, you got my attention, and then you hit me with the okay, here's the it's the variables, and start giving me something that hooks me. Then we got something to talk about.
Yeah, see that what Jeff
That's
said there
stronger.
was really important. He said you grabbed his attention, but then you really hooked him with the unique mechanism. That's why you got to have all of it. You got to have the promise. You got to have the unique mechanism. What the unique mechanism does is it says, hey, this is not bullshit. Right? And that's kind of what Jeff was saying there in different words was now you got me. Okay, now I'm listening. Now I think you know what you're talking about. Very
And Woody,
important.
you really want to target that group because we're coming into a market that is no longer going to have forbearance. So that message, do you want to sell your house fast for top dollar? That is really important. That's a topical and trending message right now.
Yeah, that's what they're laying their head on the pillow thinking, man, if I could only sell this house fast and get top dollar for it, my life would be great. That's what they're thinking when they're going to sleep.
So is the main page the secret to selling your house fast for top dollar?
Pretty much.
I would say, want to know the secret.
All right, the secret to selling your house for top dollar.
Yeah, that's the
Tell 'em now, I'll
promise.
tell you how.
That's the promise. And then the unique mechanism. That's the, the details or whatever it was that Jeff was talking about, that key piece that he mentioned. That's where you're talking about unique mechanism. That's
And
where
if
it takes it.
this is your landing page, Woody, I would also put that clip right there on your landing page. So now you're talking to them.
Oh, put the ad on again. Oh,
Right on
put
your
something
landing
else
page.
on.
Yep.
Let me ask you, technical people, do you need, when I shoot with my iPhone, do you put that on your webpage or do you need really expensive?
Your
video?
iPhone is perfectly fine.
So do you want me to have a big button on your landing page with a button on it with me talking? Oh dear, I feel like we're gonna be late for Monday.
Yeah, we're gonna have to push it back again, Woody.
Yeah, see, here's
Biggest
the
thing-
thing.
I'm
Here's-
sorry, John, go ahead.
Here's the thing with creation. You don't enter into creation. You said it yourself this morning, Woody. You don't start with the creation until you get your shit together. So figuring out, like going through this process of analysis and figuring out your big idea, figuring out your target audience, figuring out, who it is that you're after. Like Linda said, your most important thing is your sellers. You want
Yes.
the listing. Get the listing. You'll get the money whether you sell the house or not. So
Yeah, Woody, this is like Linda and Sylvie, this whole thing is recorded, so you could just come back to this, because everything that Linda's saying is gold, and we've said this to Woody, make it simple, brief, and clear, so stupidly directed that only buyers' ears will perk up. I want to sell my house. Woody, you got this. When you talk, you can say it. Do you want to know the secret to selling your house fast for top dollar? Click here, I've got your answer. 30 seconds, man. You got this, Woody. And Sylvie can do all the technical stuff. You just make it so simple, only the buyers will hear, and you want to weed this out. John said this, Linda said this, we just do it. Just give up the buyers, sellers, investors, focus. It's gonna save you time and money, and it's gonna filter everybody so that you don't have to waste time. Like Linda said, you don't want your time sucked. You want to just go for the people that want to buy that want to sell their houses.
Niche down, Woody. Riches are in the niches.
Yes. And all you have to do is alter the voiceover, Woody. It's not a big deal. So Sylvie you guys can do this. It's just altering the voiceover. Get rid of, I don't want to sell your house. Nobody cares that you don't want to sell their house or you don't want to buy their house. Just
Well,
get to the
the only
point, like
reason-
Jeff said.
The reason we use that line is because everyone is trying to buy their house. So I wanted to show that I'm on their side.
I know, Bubba, I was there and you
right.
didn't want to listen then. So everybody's telling you, Jeff, Linda, everybody that's listening is giving you the feedback. So take it or leave it, but you've got
No,
30
I
seconds to
will.
make it an impact. Do it, Woody, make an impact.
Okay, let's go.
And test.
we're all
Test. Do
fighting
the
for
smallest
Woody.
thing you can to get the message out there and test.
Yeah.
Use masterminds you're involved with, groups, anywhere you
Use it,
can get a
buddy.
group, throw it out there and test it.
Yeah, you could pause the Spectrum ad and run Sylvie. He can pause the ad run and do micro tests on Facebook for $1, Woody. You could niche down, like John's saying, in the back end of Facebook, when you go to buy an ad, all those analytics, you could literally microscope your target market and you could pick different markets to test for a week, 2 weeks, and it costs you $30 to run it for $1 a day, Woody, and see if anybody clicks. The more messaging, the more niche messaging that gets clicked on, that's how you refine your message. And go with what Linda's saying. She's in the real estate market with you. She's an ace. You've talked to me about how brilliant she is, and she's telling you for the 500th time, focus on the buyer.
The seller. The owner of the property. Focus on the seller.
Focus on the seller.
Got it. You know, all the other real estate agents' pages have the same things on the top. But I think, you know what? Go off the beaten path.
There's almost no differentiation between real estate agents.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's so true.
And
They're
some
all
of them are really
bobblehead.
good. Most of them suck at what they do, and it's impossible to figure out who's who until they do a transaction for you. And guess what? You're more likely going to get one of the ones that aren't that good. So tell us why you're one of the good ones, which you're doing. You've got the elements there, you know, with your guide, but that's the key.
You know which ones are good? The ones that have big ideas.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you're right, Jeff, the transactional shit, it's all the same. But it's who can sell it better. That's the one that's going to be the most successful. And that's going to be the guy with the best big idea. I guarantee it.
Listen, everybody knows you make the promise, like John said, make the promise, Woody. You have character. People that vibe with you are going to respond to your ad. So you blow the freaking promise out, because just like Jeff said, until they do the transaction with you, nobody's going to know if you blow or if you're a go. So go for it, man. Make the outrageous promise. Give them the big idea. You are the unique mechanism, and then say it. You say it in a compelling way because you know your stuff.
Got it.
But look, 1 inch is your bandwidth. Like Linda said, you have one thing only to do, and that's talk to your niche market. You are charming and compelling and charismatic. You can do this. You're enrolling. Just forget about it and just focus.
Hey, Woody, can I jump in real quick? Because I'm actually in the car.
Hey, Randy, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm actually getting ready to get some gas because I'm on the road, but I've been listening in, and you know what this comes down to from what I'm hearing, and I'm no expert, I'm still learning myself, but from a speaker and a coach's perspective, let me tell you what you're missing. This is the one thing, if you listen to everybody else, especially the very poignant lady that just spoke, I can't remember her name. I remember her. What's her name?
That's Allie.
She's awesome. She's telling you, but here's what you're missing. I promise I do this every day when I'm coaching. I coach emerging speakers. I coach small business entrepreneurs. I coach people who are looking to move in all kinds of different directions to their next level. And before, they might have everything they need, but the secret to success and the secret to what you're doing, you have to conquer your belief system. You know what you know, you're an expert, but you are lacking the confidence to do what Ellie said, which is to put it out there. And for some reason, your belief system inside, you haven't conquered it yet. And you need to go ahead and jump on that rock and conquer the fear or the belief system that you've got. That's what's holding you back from what I hear.
You know, that's very observant of you, Randy. And the thing is, I wanted to be a Craig DeWalt for real estate.
No, you don't. That's the problem.
Yeah, that might be it.
That's the problem. You do not want to be Craig DeWalt. You do not want to be Limbacher. You do not want to be Randy Power, Allie, or anybody else. You need to be who you are. And you need to stop focusing. All of those people we just mentioned are experts, and they have graciously shared and sold, and they're part of our lives now, moving forward. but you want to be who you are, and your brand is who you are. Your authenticity is who you are, but your belief system is going to pull you through the weeds and make you shine. But you've got to stop trying to be all these other people, learn from them, extrapolate what they've gone through, but now create who you are and let that come through. And your belief system is the problem.
Got it.
And here's the thing. Here's how you get to a point where you believe in yourself. Don't keep trying to hit home runs. I use this analogy, baseball analogy, all the time. People are always trying to hit home runs. This is what Allie's telling you. This is what everyone's saying. Test the market, put a little bit out there and see if you get responses. That's called getting little base hits. People in baseball do not win games by hitting home runs. The pros win games by getting base hits. Think about the baseball analogy. You want to win the game of life. The way you're going to do that is to get base hits. Stop trying to hit a home run, get the base hits, and before you know it, you're going to be on a roll. And what that does, every base hit, every time you get to home plate, your belief system starts adjusting and you start understanding and believing in yourself. This is a huge problem that people have. And it's not rocket science. It's just somebody's got to explain it to you in a way that you grab onto it. So I'm going to get gas, but I wanted to share that with you. It's your belief system. You can pull through it, but you got to work on it.
We need to get Billy Bean to coach him.
What?
We need to get Billy Bean to coach you.
Who's Billy Bean, a baseball player?
Baseball manager for the A's.
No.
Yeah. So that's one of the analogies I use when I'm coaching to help people think about base hits versus home runs and how they can change and get to a place where they believe in themselves. Because we all have to accomplish that. And a lot of people get it as they're growing up as kids. But if we didn't get it as kids, if we weren't fortunate enough to have parents to tell us we can do what we want to do and believed in us, then we have to latch on or figure it out ourselves as adults. And that's a hard thing to do. Just like asking for help is the hardest thing to do. But once you learn to ask for help, you'd be surprised how many people are willing to come by your side and help you. And that's what everybody's trying to do now.
Well, thank you, everyone. You know, you're my family away from family.
All right.
Right.
We're all pulling for you, Woody.
All right, Sylvie, get to work.
All right, I'm going to
Thank you,
hop over
everyone.
to Richard. Did you still have a question or did we get it answered for you? You got to unmute.
Yep, unmute.
There
No,
you go.
I was trying to jump in when you were talking about avatars and who your ideal client was and that sort of thing. One of the things that you've said that I've keep ringing in my ears is manufacturers. And I, not having been a manufacturer, don't know any manufacturers. I don't know how to build. You know, I wanted to lean on you a little bit. You said that you've had your best success with manufacturers, and I wanted you to expand on that a bit because I don't have any.
Sure.
I have no database from which to draw to build an avatar that makes any sense other than something pulled straight out of some dark place.
Okay, no problem at all. Like what Tatiana said earlier, she said she is her own avatar, right? Well, I've been in manufacturing, so I understand manufacturers. I understand what's important to them. I understand, you know, a lot about their mentality. And that's why, like, when I got into SEO, that was just where I was originally drawn to, was I was drawn to help manufacturers because I knew them and I understood them. They rapidly became my favorite client to work with in the SEO field. And I'll tell you why. I kept seeing all the internet marketers pushing for doing local SEO. Well, I got to tell you, I went out and I did some promotions and I pulled in a bunch of local SEO clients. They were the biggest pain in my ass I've ever encountered in my life. You know,
They're small. That's what I mean. They're small. They think small. They got small budgets.
yeah.
Hurting cats.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything about it was painful. And when I lean back on my manufacturers, I realized these are my ideal clients. These are the guys like profitable market segment. These guys can afford to pay it. They're willing to pay for it. The market's big enough. That's a winner on all three fields. So I've got a profitable segment. Now, the other thing I look at with the manufacturers versus the little guys is, well, here's the other thing too. I didn't just shoot for any manufacturer, right? I shot for the $2 to $10 million annual sales manufacturer. The reason that was my niche, my profitable niche, was I found if I went below that, if I went below 2 million annual sales, that's somebody that's just getting started. That's somebody that's never paid for ads before. That's somebody that's going to cut their teeth on me. I don't want to be a teething ring. So
Yeah.
in the 10 million, where I cap it at 10, is what I found is when it's over 10 million, you're no longer dealing with the owner. Now you're dealing with a chain of command that, again, is a pain in the ass. The 2 to 10, I'm talking to the guy that makes the decisions. I'm talking to the guy that's in charge. I'm not, dealing with middlemen. I'm right there. This guy has already spent money on ads. He's already successful. He doesn't want to get involved in something. He wants to do what he does well, and he wants to pay to have the phone ring. That's my ideal customer in SEO. So and I got to tell you, when you identify your ideal customer and it fits all the criteria, life becomes magical. You're dealing with the people that you love, and they're not a pain in the ass, and it's all easy. So it's really important when you figure that stuff out. And every time I step outside that box, I get my ass handed to me.
Well, that's the group that's, for all those reasons, you've said that before. So I get that. And the question that brings up immediately is, okay, how do I find those people short of just going out to Data Axle, buying a list of that segment and going in blind to this giant pile, this undifferentiated pile? What I would like to narrow that down closer to, and if you have a background in manufacturing, maybe you can give me the golden key on this, is I'm looking for the manufacturers that were slammed by COVID that are scrambling to try to get back up on top, and they don't have, they were used to selling in the real world, and they could sell in the digital world if they had somebody that could hold their hand and feed them leads and get them SEO going and get them online digitally. Those are the people. How do I find the people that are already not there?
Here's an inherent problem with that scenario. You're talking about trying to serve people that are hurting and going down the tubes. They don't have money to spend, and every penny that they spend is going to get squeezed and scrutinized like you've never seen before. I don't want to operate in that bucket. I would rather go to the guys that the pandemic actually helped. The ones that are going up, the ones that have money to spend, the ones that are aggressive, and they're like, hey, I'm ready to charge forward. I'm ready to conquer the earth. Those are the people I want to work with.
If they're already on the up, where's their pain point?
It's greed. It's not a pain point, it's greed. Okay. Entrepreneurs are greedy, but the blood running through their veins is filled with it. They're opportunistic feeders. That's the thing about understanding and knowing your audience and knowing what drives them, knowing what makes them tick. And wouldn't you rather get in on that, somebody that's got a lot of money and ready to spend it, than somebody that's not got money and hurting and like going down the tubes? And
absolutely,
they're going to grab onto you like a life ring, and they're going to suck the life out of you.
Well, then how do I call for those folks? I mean, not knowing manufacturing, I don't know where to look for those folks. That's, that's, I've got my AK-47 on one hand out the window, hoping to shoot down a helicopter, I may get lucky, but a bit more guidance. That's what I'm looking for is I don't know where to begin looking for the Easter eggs on that.
So I have a question. What's the problem you're solving for manufacturers, first of all?
Yeah.
The well, from what I hear from John is that the manufacturers, first off.
No, doesn't have anything to do with John. What is the product or service and the problem that you're solving?
I want to do the SEO for more customers, lead generation.
But that's not the problem. That's what you want. What's the problem you're solving?
They want more clients. Everybody.
No, you said they. Is that the problem?
Yeah, lack of traffic, lack of new customers.
Okay, so you've got to find out. So the real question is, you believe that manufacturers need more clients, or they want more clients, and you believe SEO is going to help them. Is that correct?
Correct. John, feel free to, I'm not, like I said, I'm telling you, I'm shooting a little bit blind here, but I have a sense that that's a good market, and I'm not sure what to approach them with or how to approach them.
Well, I've had 20 years in manufacturing in different capacities, and I don't know one manufacturer that I worked for that worried about SEO from the standpoint of they're going to go out and bring you in to help them with their SEO, unless you're talking about a small manufacturing outfit, because the Fortune 500 and 100s have their own teams. So the first thing that you got to do in my mind is scale that down to a target of people who are in manufacturing that you think need help with leads.
Yeah, it's manufacturers between 2 and 10 million annual sales, Randy. We're not shooting for the big ones.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure, because even 2 to 10 million, a $10 million manufacturer has probably got the leads coming in. That's just my opinion. So I don't know if it's 2 to 10 million or maybe, maybe smaller than that, because once you start getting down in the dirt, they don't have that kind of help. That's my opinion.
Yeah, what I have found over the years working with those guys is they do have lead generation. They definitely do. That's how they got to 2 to 10 million in sales.
Right.
But
exactly.
Their online sucks typically. They're not found. So what I do is when I get a meeting with that guy, I'm not talking about SEO. I sit down with that guy and have a conversation of, hey, if I could bring you one customer, who would it be? Who would you want? Who's your ideal client? And then they describe that to me. And then once I have that described, I ask the next question is, if that person sat down in front of their computer, what do you think they would type in? And then they tell me, and then I have them go to the computer and do it. And when
the problem I see, John, yeah, it's just what's throwing me off is when you use the caveat manufacturing. That's like saying the sky. There are so many areas under manufacturing. If you don't drill that down, for example, the aerospace industry, there's a huge numbers of, which is my background, there's huge numbers of manufacturers, and even in that, it's not drilled down enough. So manufacturing as a caveat for, I'm looking for manufacturers, to me, that's not detailed enough. If you're talking about an industry where manufacturers are looking to get business, to me that starts the process of drilling down.
Yeah, no, that's if you're going to run ads. Yeah, you've got to do that. But like with Richard, I'm just talking, generically about my experience throughout, 20 years of doing SEO for companies. Those manufacturers, most of the ones that I got, they either came from referrals or it was somebody that I actively went out after. So I was targeting them. And the way I did it, I'll tell you how I got most of my clients. Most of my commercial clients came from stuff that I wanted. Like for instance, a furniture manufacturer. My wife wanted some new living room furniture. So I said, what kind do you want? I went right to the manufacturer and started talking to them about the furniture. And they said, in the conversation, they said, well, what do you do? And I said, I drive online traffic for companies so they can grow their business. And generally that's the door opening right there for me. And all of them, these guys are traders too. They will trade like you've never seen before. This $2 to $10 million manufacturer guy I'm talking about, they love to trade stuff. So what I would do, I was open it up with, I need some new living room furniture. I can do this, and then I get them started. So that gets me what I want. It also gets me an ongoing client forever.
Can I add something? I was a small manufacturer. And even in these days, because we closed in 2013, we were a sheet metal fabrication company. So we work with a lot of manufacturers, and all of them, we worked from the small person up to the multi-million-dollar company. So I sent you my email, Richard, in the chat, and I have a list. I have to get into it. It'll take me maybe a week to get to you, but I know that all of those people could have used the SEO now and back when I was doing it, because we had no way of knowing how to do it. And a lot of those people are the same thing. So I could give you some names to start in manufacturing if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, and
I would love that.
Here's the really cool thing, Richard. Like she said, they're all tied together. Like one manufacturer, they manufacture one thing, but they use other vendors that are manufacturers, usually at their same level. So once you make one happy, then you go in and you say, hey, who else do you know that could benefit from this? And they'll give you 10 more.
And the other thing is manufacturing associations as well.
Yeah.
You got to hang out where they hang out.
Yeah, if you can get to be the speaker at a manufacturer association trade show thing, here you got it.
I'm from Long Island, and the one on Long Island is the HIA, Hot Plug Industrial Association.
Yeah, that's where you need to be on their stage.
Catherine, I put my email in the chats so that you have it. I didn't see where you put yours in there.
I sent it privately to you.
How do you, I don't know what that means.
It'll pop up if you scan through, it'll come up red and say privately.
Is that Kathy Quest or at Yahoo?
Yep,
Is that you?
that's it.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. I put my email in there too so that you'd have it. I figure
Okay,
nobody here is going to spam us. So.
Hey, Richard,
Yes.
I have a little like 2 steps to the left suggestion. It's not quite manufacturing, but it's a niche area, just for your consideration. I'm an artist and I sculpt. And when I work with foundries, they were always looking for like everything. They always needed everything. And they're kind of like a super niched out manufacturing process. And they don't know how to do anything but make sculptures. And they're always drowning. So, except for some foundries. So you might want to, like John said, go for the foundries that like rocked it through the pandemic because everybody else couldn't handle it being shut down, because they work in isolation when they're making sculptures. Nobody's like within 10 feet. You got gear on, you can't hear a damn thing, but they always need everything, like all kinds of help. And I can't tell you how many foundries I've worked with in New York. I'm from Long Island too. In the house, baby. So like, and the foundries that I work for, I'm talking like metals have gone up. They need to source metals. The price of like, if I cast a sculpture, it went, this is back in 2010 when metal started to go through the roof. But all of it, they don't know how to advertise. They don't know how to do anything John's pushing. So you could literally do like, what do they call that, John, when they white face you or whatever that is, where you're the back and he's the
white
face,
label.
white label, and you can rock it. Just so that's a niche I know about because it's hands-on. I saw the dysfunction at every level. They don't know how to get clients. All they know, like I came to a foundry, I wanted them to cast my sculpture. They were like, oh my God, thank God, you know, like, and that's because a sculptor, I asked another sculptor, who do you work with? Because I didn't even know what foundry to go to. I was like, you know, it's just like, it's like finding a realtor. You're like, oh shit, I need to cast my sculpture. I don't know where to go. And so you go, you get a personal reference. So anyway, that's just like I said, a way to the side suggestion, but that's the kind of niche market where you could just Google foundries and a few will come up because everybody else has been called into extinction. So just an idea.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much, Alice. I appreciate that. And Catherine, thank you very much. And I will stay in contact with you. John, would you finish the part you were walking through? You said you asked them what their ideal client was and then what they would tell them. And then you said something about go Google it. What was that? What was
yeah. Once I've heard out of their mouth who they're looking for and what that person would search for, I have them literally sit down in front of the computer and type that in. And when it comes up, they realize that they're not there. And what happened was I just led them on a self-discovery process that they have a huge problem. So I just brought them into the level of awareness that they've got a serious issue to deal with.
So when they describe their ideal client, you ask them what again? I don't see it.
I asked them, what do you think that person would type in when they needed you?
Oh, okay.
And then I have them type that in. And now what's happened is I've just ripped a huge hole in them and it's a really good time to offer them a Band-Aid. They're bleeding.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
You know, that's how I go about that process. It's not a high sales, it's a discovery process that I'm leading them on to discover they have an issue. And at that point, I don't have to sell anything. They're asking me how fast that we can fix this.
So were you doing the full SEO? I mean, this sounds like, and maybe I'm wrong, correct me. It sounds like this was before you had site pop. You were doing this when you were actually doing content.
Oh,
you
yeah.
You have two kinds of SEO listed in there. You have what I call the manual SEO, which is all the content and all the rest of it, which you charge $2,000 to $3,000 for, and then you have the site pop, which is
yeah, that's the only difference there is that's just how we do SEO today. I'm talking about, you know, I've been doing this for 25 years.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, is that they want the full-on package.
And they don't care. They don't know anything about SEO, nor do they care. They don't care what you're going to do. They just want the outcome. I don't go into specifics of what I'm going to do for them, all other than I'm going to get you to show up here so this person can find you.
So behind the curtain, do we need to do do some of that manual stuff, or will SitePop get it done?
SitePop is only search signals. That's like a third of the algorithm. So traditional SEO makes up the other 2/3.
Ah, okay. So SitePop by itself won't necessarily do it, except for a small local business, right?
Yeah, SitePop is kind of the missing link. So it's like that third that most people don't have. And the big companies, because of that, take advantage of that, you know, just by default. So SitePop levels the playing field for a little guy that I might be doing SEO for to allow them to play like the big guys.
Okay, but if you're going with a bigger manufacturer who's going to have a bigger budget, you do need to do the other part of it as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, the manufacturers have the money. They have the money to spend, you know, a few $1,000s a month on SEO, and you can do some pretty decent SEO for that. So you can get them some good results.
Perfect.
All right, well, I'm gonna wrap up here today. I think we've covered a lot of ground. This was a great call, you know. Thank you all for participating, and I think we did some good today.
Thank
It was
you,
great.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody take care. Have a good one.
Everybody.
Love you
Have a
guys.
great
Everybody.
day.
Week.
I definitely learned a lot. I think it's applicable for everybody, what we talked about.
Bring the
Absolutely.
lasagna, Alice. Bring some lasagna.
Oh, man, I just made baked ziti wood. Sorry, you missed it.
Okay, next time. I love you guys.